It's Brian Preston, the money guy.
All right, Taylor has a question. How do you decide it's time to get a new car? We have a paid off car right now, a 2005 Ford Taurus with about 200,000 miles on it, but a baby is on the way. So when do you consider a car not safe, and when is it time to just pull that trigger and get the new car?
You said it was a 2005 Ford Taurus.
With 200K miles on it.
200,000 miles. Ruby, I'm curious, when before Baby I got here, did you and John have like car conversations around like, oh, we need to think about a different car situation, different car circumstance?
We did, but it was more like the size of the vehicle, and it was more like down the road.
Got it.
So our cars are like, okay, they're a bit newer than 2005, and
Sure.
we determined that they were fine, and they are paid off. So that is my favorite thing about them. So I get this question. It is true. Like, how do you decide to do this?
When you and your wife were thinking about having babies and all that kind of stuff, did the car, like, was getting a new car, thinking about a car because the family dynamic was changing, was that something like entered onto your radar, or no?
Well, I mean, my wife wanted an SUV, so I mean, we already had an SUV.
Because we were in the same boat. That was the big thing that changed for us. Is she said, "Hey, I'm gonna be driving around this baby. This baby better be safe," because she went into like full mama bear thing. And so that was one of the conversations we had. Is like,
My wife never played the safe card. She thought SUVs were cool.
she just looked on.
Maybe I should play the safe card. I don't know.
But no, here's what I think is important. Just like I talk about, you have to have. We're unique in the fact that we offer 23/8, whereas a lot of people say just pay cash for all vehicles because they're depreciating. They're horrible for your personal finances. We've offered 23/8 which is 20% down. Don't finance more than 3 years, and make sure your payments don't exceed 8% of your income. We offer that because just like I share that the most important thing to building wealth is that you get to make it to your JOB to actually have the earned income. Right up there on priority scale is making sure that you, as well as your loved ones, are safe. I mean, look, Michelin Tires made an entire ad campaign off of how their tires were supposedly safer than all their competitors. Volvo, forever, made an entire reputation off of this. There's a reason. I want you to have peace of mind that if you had to go visit family and they're 3 hours away, that when you go get in that car in the morning and load up all the things that you have to do to keep your children, safe and happy while you're over the relatives, that you can actually do it. A car that's from 2005 with 200,000 miles on it. I mean, look, there are cars. I know people that drive, Toyota 4Runners that have like 300,000 miles, and that thing still purrs like a kitten. But if you're a tourist, if the air conditioner doesn't work, because look, I don't mind. I'm going to tell you my experience. I had a Ford Explorer, that first car of my life, and it I don't know if it had designed obsolescence in it or what, but when it hit 100,000 miles, I kid you not, we went over a railroad track and the right mirror just literally fell off the car. The display went out. I mean, when
Was
you
this the
locked
one
the
where
door,
the locks like went up and
yes,
down?
when you went, also when you went over any bumps, the door, you'd think that you had a 3-year-old playing with your power door locks because it would just start going up and down, over and over again. It had something wrong with it. But if that is the situation you're having, you do need to have some hard discussions, because just like your job and your income is important, the safety of your family is important. But that's why, once again, go back to 23/8, because that's at least going to keep your eyes in check with your wallet and your purse, so that you're not letting your ego or desire to buy too much car get in the way of actually getting safe, reliable transportation for your growing family.
And look, I've made this decision in the past where I had a car that was not necessarily on its last leg, because we tend to be long car drive. I tend to be a long car driver. I like to drive a car for a long time before we end up replacing it. But I have made the decision in the past because automobile safety has just changed over the years. Even stuff like when someone's anyway, this could be anybody, not my wife, but when someone's like backing out of a parking spot or something, there are beepers that go off that tell you, hey, there's something behind you, or like when you're merging lanes, you can see. I think those kind of things are valuable. So for Taylor, for you and your family, you got to figure out, okay, what do we prioritize? What are the things that matter for us and our family? And in our situation, having some of those new and improved safety features was a big benefit, and one of the reasons we decided to upgrade to a newer car, when we started upgrading to newer cars and having babies.
One closing statement. I had a friend came to me, growing family. They're like, they're not the primary driver of the kids, by the way, but they were like, I think I ought to buy, get rid of this Honda sedan for this big honking truck. And I was like, this is not the baby's talking.
And what'd you tell said friend? You said, hey, I bet you said to this friend, you'd look so cool in a truck. You ought to get a truck. That's what you said. Who cares about the family of 5?
Don't use the kids. Shame on you for using the kids to justify getting the fancy vehicle. And I think they woke up. We'll talk about it later. But it's I shamed them for trying to use. A truck could really do it.
Could tote some family around. Love it.